Jimbo's Garage.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Jimbo's Garage. All you guys out there that have a garage or a workshop or a studio or anything you use to build things in, whether you have wood chips or metal shavings or dust or dirt or whatever it is, eventually that's all going to get cleaned up and everybody needs a dustpan. So today I'm going to show you how to make a dustpan out of a simple piece of sheet metal. Let's do it. Okay, so what we got here is a simple piece of sheet metal right here. It's probably 26, 28 gauge, pretty thin, but that's all we need for this project right here. The first thing I want to do is cut out the size of the piece we need. And that's going to be 12.5 inches by 9 inches. And I'm going to do that with a angle grinder with a real thin cutoff wheel. I don't want to use shears, or I don't have a shear press to cut it, and I don't want to use like tin snips or shears like that because it might make the edges kind of rough, and I'm really looking for a really smooth flat piece to get started with. So let's do it. Okay, we're going to get started here with my metal rule and my Milwaukee Inksaw marker. Those things are pretty handy to have, and as you can see, I'm just simply laying it out, and you know, the measurements I use are just you know, average measurements. You'll probably use what you want, but basically it's 1.5 inches from each corner, 1.5 inches from the top, and 3/8 from the end. And I just clamp that right down, and I've got my cutoff angle grinder with a cutoff blade. We're just going to cut that through, and that works pretty good. You know, nice and smooth and straight cuts. It's pretty cool. I do that on a lot of things. But anyways, we got this piece all cut out right here, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp this thing down and just score it with this cutoff blade, and that's going to make it a little bit easier to bend the flaps up when we go ahead and do that. And a couple of quick little scores with that cutoff blade works real good. And then we want to take those 1.5 inch pieces in the back, and we want to cut those all the way through. Those are going to be the flaps when we bend everything up. So here we are, we're bending it up and bending the sides up. I didn't quite get a deep enough score on that one side, but you know what, we're going to fix that up here in a minute. Once everything is bent together, I'll just get a hammer, we're going to pound that out and straighten things up, and it'll be just fine. So now we're going to go ahead and take the Everlast Power TIG 210 EXT. We're going to crank amps down to about 35, and my idea was to fuse things together here, but it's so thin that it didn't really work that well. So I just went ahead and got some 30 thousandths wire from my MIG gun, and that seemed to work pretty good. You know, it was everything I could do to keep from burning through because it's such thin material right here. But hey, I managed to get a little bit of filler metal in there, and actually worked out pretty good, and just a little bit on the back side right here, and that ought to do it. Once we got that done, I just took my angle grinder with flap disc and went around the edges and kind of deburred everything, smoothed the edges, and I got some emery cloth here and took everything off and got it all cleaned up, and decided that you know, shop gray would be a good color for this, and you know, just painted things up on both sides, and that worked out really good. And a good little project. There you go, shop dustpan. Okay, well there it is, the shop dustpan. Yeah, you know, this is a pretty good project, and all in all, this took me about an hour, maybe a little bit less than an hour outside of paint. Paint takes a couple hours to dry, but you know, it's a fun little project to do in your shop. You're probably saying, why would I want to make something like this when I can go to the hardware store or wherever and buy one for a few bucks? Well, for me, there's nothing more gratifying and satisfying than just saying you built something yourself. Plus, it's something that you're going to use every day in the shop. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more videos.
See you next time on Jimbo's Garage.